Some wines really taste like dirt because they literally soak up flavors from the soil where the grapes grow. So it's not dirt when you're tasting wine, it's soil, which is also dirt, basically. My name is Gary and I'm a WSET 3 qualified sommelier, and today I'm going to answer some awkward wine questions everyone wants to know but hesitate to ask. A little bit more than 1 kilo, like 1 kilo 100 grams probably. There is a common rule that one vine gives 1 bottle of wine. It also depends on the grape variety because some grapes have high yields, some lower yields, but generally the math is something like this. It's very simple. Let's say you have a $30 budget, right? First of all, you look at the location on the label. Basically, it is the place where the grapes were grown, and we want to have the most precise place possible. Like if the label says just Australia, it literally means that the grapes could have been harvested anywhere in Australia, which doesn't give a lot of understanding of what this wine is, and consequently that the wine is probably not very good. But if we see McLaren Vale or Barossa Valley, it means that the grapes were sourced in one particular valley, which adds to the quality of the wine. So when we are looking for a good supermarket wine, the first advice is look for the location on the label. The more precise location you can find, the better quality wine you are going to have. The most expensive wine ever sold was from Burgundy, and it was about $500,000 per one bottle. But generally, it's not the price point you are going to expect from an expensive wine. Top Burgundy, top Bordeaux, First Grove, like the most prestigious wineries in the world, arguably, they sell their wines at $500 to $1,000 per bottle. It's very expensive still, but these are the wines you can find on sale, no problem. These are not bad actually, they're just simple. Obviously, you don't expect box wines to be the most complex and sophisticated wines in the world, but actually these are nice ones for summer parties, for cooking as well, even to have a glass of wine in the evening. The problem with cans and boxes is that wine cannot age in this type of vessel, meaning that it cannot develop tertiary aromas like cooked fruit, dried fruit. But normally, the wines packaged in boxes are not meant to be aged. They have to be enjoyed young while they have all the fruit flavors and the slightness, and like this, they're still fun. So yeah, box and canned wines are underestimated sometimes, I'd say. There are a couple of ways actually. Well, there is more, but I won't talk about sabrage or hitting the bottle against the wall in order to remove the cork. The easiest way is to use a corkscrew. There is a ton of different models. You can purchase something like this one, for instance. It's a very affordable, like $10 weighted corkscrew, which is not bad at all. It does the job. As well, you can go for one of these fancier corkscrews like this one. This one I particularly love. It's from Atelier du Vin. It has a very good quality of materials, well made. It could be a part of the interior of the flat, which I cannot say about this $10 corkscrew. And by the way, if you also like this one, there is a 20% discount code for any purchase on their website from Atelier du Vin. They deliver internationally, so check the link in the description. But anyway, these corkscrews do the same thing, but in a slightly different way. It's up to you to decide which one to use. Like, drink it, it is the reason why you open it, right? But seriously, you can put it in the fridge to slow down the oxidation processes and preserve wine like this. It's not the best method, but if you plan to finish the bottle tomorrow, there is nothing wrong with just putting the wine in the fridge. The better way to store wine after opening, which I do most of the time, is to use this little pump. What it does is basically pump the air out of the bottle and then put it in the fridge. Like this, you have not only 1 day before the wine goes off, but like 2-3 days for white wines and up to a week for reds. It's not a lot, but in most cases it is time needed to drink the content of the bottle, so there is no need to buy some more expensive gear. This pump is super affordable, costs like $15, and it's really great investment for wine lovers. Sometimes you want to just drink one glass and then reseal the bottle, and there are actually inner gas systems which allow you to do that, but they cost way more than a little pump, about $500, so it's up to you to decide whether you need this kind of wine gadget or not. Nothing. Actually nothing except for the color probably. But roses don't always have rosé color, right? Yeah, there are no roses involved in the making of rosé wine. The majority of the grapes have transparent juice, okay, even if the color of the grape itself is black. Rosé wine is made from black grapes, but winemakers allow very little contact between the skins of the grapes, which have color, and the juice, which is neutral in color. Finally, we have very subtle red wine, which has a tender pink color. Sometimes they just blend some white wine, some red wine, in order to make rosé, but it is illegal in most regions, so this technique is rather rare. So yeah, no roses involved in the process of rosé wine making. It depends on the wine and the storage conditions. Like 98% of wines cannot be sold for a higher price because they just don't benefit from storage and aging. But if you hold a bottle of, I don't know, first growth Bordeaux or Super Tuscan or some nice Burgundy, which A, can age, and B, it's a well-known producer and wine lovers seek for this wine on wine auctions all over the world. Here you can sell it after 5, 10, 20 years of storing. Storing at home temperature normally ruins wine because it is too hot for the wine in our houses. The ideal option is some cool cellar or some kind of a wine fridge with controlled temperature. If you have a cellar at home and buy some nice wine from a trusted producer, yes, you can absolutely sell it at a high price 10 years after. But these wines are really rather rare. It is not possible to buy wine in a supermarket and store it for 10 years and then become a millionaire. Like every champagne is a sparkling wine, but not every sparkling wine is champagne, okay? Champagne is a sparkling wine, meaning wine with bubbles, made by traditional method, meaning that the alcoholic fermentation and the second fermentation, which gives the wine bubbles, were made in the same bottle. And this wine should be made only in one specific region in France, which is called Champagne and located to the east of Paris. It's a common thing when people call any wine with bubbles champagne, but actually champagne is like a premium sparkling wine. It commands high prices, it has more prestige, and very often it tastes better than sparkling wines made in other regions because of this unique climate and terroir in Champagne. Yeah, very often. Like any other product or service which is high priced, more expensive wine is generally more complex, it has longer finish, so the flavors stay longer on the mouth, and it's generally more sophisticated and pleasant. But it's nothing wrong with drinking simple young wine, but once you've tried a more premium wine, you'll definitely remember it and you won't want to drink cheap wine anymore. Like simple wine can also be expensive. Basic Chablis is quite simple. Quality Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand may be simple. A lot of wines in the world are simple, but they command prices at about, I don't know, $20, $30, $40 and above. So yeah, basically, the more you pay, the more quality you get in the wine. Your favorite, like if you don't enjoy the wine, why should you drink it? Wine is all about pleasure and their experience, and if you don't like the wine, it has no value for you, even if it costs $1,000, right? I mean, my favorite wines are not very expensive. I enjoy Chablis, regular Champagne, Australian Shiraz as well, but these are about $30 per bottle. Of course, there are a lot of wine competitions where judges try to identify all the flavors and aromas of hundreds of wines, but for me it doesn't actually seem very legit because there is no common criterion by which we can say that this is the best wine in the world. There are criteria to understand the level of quality of wine, but basically any wine at $30 price range and above is top quality. So the only way to find the best wine is to decide which one you love the most. There is actually no other scale or whatever.